Hello, Hay House team. My name is Charlene Platon, and I am a registered nurse, board-certified family nurse practitioner, and director-level healthcare leader based in Menlo Park, California. I've been in healthcare for 14 years, with 10 of those years in leadership, and I'm writing a book about the people that nobody thinks to check on. The people who look fine on the outside. My book is called In Between, the invisible patterns that stand between you and yourself. Throughout my career, I've met so many successful people who thought that they did everything right. They went to all the classes, they got all the certifications, they got all the degrees, but internally, they are suffocating and they're feeling stuck and they don't know what to do next. And what I started to notice that was in common with all these different people was that the same behaviors that got them to succeed are the exact same behaviors that are keeping them stuck. For example, perfectionism can get you praised for a job well done. And then people-pleasing can make you the person that everyone goes to for advice. It can make you the person that everyone wants to work with. And then when you over-prepare, people call you thorough, they call you dependable, responsible. These behaviors are actually rewarded in fast-paced environments like healthcare, like tech, like different corporate environments. And that's what actually makes it so hard to recognize when they are running your life. This whole realization actually reminds me of a concept that I've learned throughout my healthcare career, and that is called silent killers. Silent killers are physiological conditions that we don't know we have, like hypertension and diabetes, until it's too late and the damage is irreversible or the damage is already beyond resolution. And then I started to think about invisible emotional patterns that might also be doing damage without us knowing it. I call these emotional silent killers, and I personally know what it's like to experience them because I've experienced them during the darkest times of my career. In the middle of my nurse practitioner training, I made the decision against all things that I was used to, all things that I was familiar with, and I went to go see a psychic. I was feeling incredibly depressed, incredibly stuck, and I didn't know who else to ask for answers. In fact, I had run out of ideas, and I thought to myself, well, if this psychic can't help me, I really don't know what else to do. So I visited a psychic in Newport Beach, California. During the reading, the psychic showed me a tarot card with a child standing in front of a tall iron gate. And the child can see rainbow colors on the other side, but they don't realize that the gate was unlocked the entire time. And this is an image I haven't been able to unsee for more than a decade afterwards. That gate is what has become the visual language for this book. I talk about 10 different emotional silent killers in the book, and each of them are represented by a different gate. This is the gate that I drew to represent fear. And for me, fear really feels dark and uncertain, and it feels really imposing, but there is a light on the other side. And once we walk forward, we realize that our path is lit up. And that's part of the exercise that readers go through when they're exploring the different gates, when they're exploring the different emotional silent killers. But at the end of each chapter, I invite each reader to draw their own gates. And then I use that as a practice to help them understand what keeps that gate closed or not. And by the end of the book, they will have 10 of their own unique drawings that make so much more sense to them, that they could relate to, and that really speaks to them. But overall, my book In Between is not about gates. It really is about self-trust and the identity that we have while we're standing in front of the gate, while we're crossing it, and us on the other side of it. This book is for the person that everyone sees as successful and capable, but who's internally asking themselves, am I on the right life path? Am I making the right decision? Am I in the right career? My book teaches about the fact that an outcome is not guaranteed, but it helps us to think more about the influences behind a decision and behind our ability to trust ourselves. So even if the reader prefers control and certainty, they'll be able to read this book and walk away with tools that will help them to build self-trust even when the outcome is unknown. Thank you so much for considering In Between, the invisible patterns that stand between you and yourself. I would be absolutely honored to bring this book into the world with Hay House.